I sat across from my father at the kitchen table, trying to grasp the weight of what he had just told me. The acceptance letter from Stanford Business School, my lifelong dream, rested between us like a cruel joke rather than a victory. "You can't be serious," I said quietly, my voice trembling. "That fund was for my education. Mom created it before she passed." My father shifted uneasily in his seat. Beside him, my stepmother Patricia laid her perfectly polished hand over his as if rehearsed. "Emma, sweetheart," she began in that syrupy tone I'd come to dread, "your sister Jessica's wedding takes precedence. She's joining the Reynolds family. Do you realize what that means for us socially?" Jessica, my stepsister, didn't bother hiding her smug grin from the other side of the table. At 25, she had never held a job, spending her days organizing lavish events and dating high-profile men. Now, she'd landed the heir to Reynolds Enterprises, one of Seattle's most powerful tech firms. "But that's my college fund," I repeated, the shock still raw. "Mom put it aside for me. You know that. Your mother isn't here anymore," Patricia cut in, her tone turning cold. "And as your legal guardians, we've decided that investing in Jessica's wedding will bring more benefit to the family. The Reynolds expect a certain level of sophistication." I looked to my father, hoping for a flicker of the man who once encouraged my ambitions, who proudly spoke of the day I'd lead a company of my own. But he avoided my gaze. "Fine," I said, standing up. "Use the money. But I won't be at the wedding." Patricia sighed dramatically. "Don't be so theatrical. You can still pursue an education. There are plenty of local colleges that would welcome you." Jessica laughed. "Yeah, not everyone's cut out for Stanford. Some people just belong in smaller ponds." That night, I walked out of the house with only my laptop, a few essentials, and the same grit that had gotten me accepted into one of the top business programs in the country. My best friend Sarah opened her apartment and her couch to me while I figured out my next steps. 2 days later, an email changed everything. "Dear Miss Emma Chin, we are pleased to inform you that your application for the Young Entrepreneurs grant has advanced to the final round of consideration. The grant covers full tuition to Stanford Business School and provides seed funding for your proposed startup." I read it 3 times, barely able to breathe. Months ago, I'd submitted that application on a whim, never believing it would amount to anything. The grant was sponsored by a mysterious figure known only as the Phoenix, a woman who had built her tech empire from the ground up and now invested in ambitious young women determined to do the same. What my family never knew was that I'd been working on an AI-powered financial management platform since I was 16. While Jessica was picking floral arrangements, I was debugging algorithms and simulating market models, crafting something I truly believed could revolutionize corporate finance. The interview was set for the following week. I borrowed a suit from Sarah and took 3 buses into downtown Seattle to the high-rise headquarters listed in the email. The interviewer greeted me with a warm smile. "Miss Chin, tell me about your vision for FinAI." For an hour, I poured out every detail. How the AI could forecast market behavior, optimize portfolios, reduce risk, and streamline decision-making. When I finished, she leaned back, watching me with an unreadable expression. "Impressive," she finally said. "One more question. How do you feel about accelerating your launch timeline?" I blinked. "What exactly do you mean?" She smiled. "The Phoenix isn't just offering you funding. She wants to purchase the rights to your technology and make you the CEO of a new division. You'd still complete your degree, but you'd be running the company at the same time." My heart pounded. "But I'm only 21. Who would trust?" "Age doesn't matter," she interrupted. "The Phoenix sees talent. So are you in?" Was I in? It was everything I dreamed of, but I had one condition. "Yes," I said firmly. "But I want to keep my identity private. No public appearances, no press, no photos. I'll reveal myself when I'm ready." Her smile widened. "That won't be a problem. The Phoenix works the same way. Sounds like you'll fit in just fine." I didn't know it yet, but in 3 months, fate would throw me right back into the lives of the very people who had tried to sideline me. The next few months flew by. Long days of meetings, sleepless nights of coding, and strategic planning sessions that would have overwhelmed anyone without a fire in their gut. FinAI was absorbed into the Phoenix Group as a new division. I operated as its unseen CEO. My AI was already transforming how top-tier firms handle their financial operations, all while I attended Stanford part-time through online courses. I never met the Phoenix in person. Our conversations took place over encrypted video calls, her figure always silhouetted, her voice calm and sharp. She became both mentor and mystery. Then, one morning, my VP of Operations dropped a bombshell during our weekly status update. Reynolds Enterprises is in trouble. Their shares have dropped 40% in the last quarter, and they're actively looking for a financial rescue. The name sent a chill through me. That was Jessica's fiancé's company, the one my father and Patricia worked for. They've reached out, my CFO added. They want to implement Fin AI across their entire financial infrastructure. If we move forward, the deal could be worth billions. I leaned back in my chair, absorbing it all. Set up the meeting, I said, but keep my identity off the table. I'll attend as Fin's representative. The meeting was set for the following week, conveniently just 2 days before Jessica's extravagant wedding. I hadn't exchanged a single word with my family since the night they redirected my college fund. Still, mutual acquaintances kept me updated on their relentless boasting about Jessica's fairy tale marriage into the Reynolds dynasty. On the morning of the meeting, I dressed with purpose. No more borrowed blazers or second-hand heels. Clad in a tailored Chanel suit, purchased with money I'd earned as the silent billionaire behind a soaring tech firm, I styled my hair in a tight, sleek bun and applied minimalist makeup. Just enough to appear polished, yet anonymous. That was the goal. I arrived early at the towering headquarters of Reynolds Enterprises. Through the lobby's glass walls, I spotted my father and Patricia rushing in. The tension on their faces was unmistakable. It matched the financial chaos brewing inside the company. They hurried toward the elevators, unaware of my presence. 10 minutes later, I entered the boardroom. The long table was packed with Reynolds executives, including Jessica's fiancé, Timothy Reynolds III. He looked far more exhausted and less pristine than the filtered versions of himself on social media. Toward the back, my father and Patricia sat among the lower-tier management, trying to appear invisible. "We appreciate you all being here," Timothy's father began. "As you're all aware, we've been navigating some difficult financial terrain. We're fortunate to have representatives from Fin AI joining us today to explore a possible alliance." I stepped forward, flipping open my laptop. "Let's start by reviewing your current fiscal landscape." For the next hour, I methodically broke down their internal weaknesses, flawed investment paths, obsolete systems, mismanaged resources. All problems my AI had flagged long before this meeting was even scheduled. As I spoke, Timothy's father's composure began to crack. His eyes narrowed in disbelief. "How are you this informed?" "Our algorithms are highly advanced," I replied evenly. "We've been monitoring Reynolds Enterprises for a while." Timothy leaned forward, his voice brittle. "Can you fix it?" "We can," I said, clicking to the next slide. "But there are conditions." I displayed a detailed contract on the screen. Fin AI would require full oversight of your financial department. All high-level decisions must go through us. Timothy's father shot up from his chair. "That's outrageous. You expect us to surrender control to a faceless tech firm." "Not faceless," I said, my voice calm. "Just protective of our leadership's identity." Behind me, I caught Patricia whispering to my father, "She's so much like Emma. Cold. Calculated. If only she knew." Right then, the conference room door opened. A familiar silhouette stepped in. Even the air shifted. Everyone straightened in their seats. "Good morning," the newcomer said, her voice synthesized through a voice modifier. "I see you've met my protégé." She walked to the front, her face hidden behind a digitized mask, the unmistakable symbol of the phoenix. What happened next would upend everything my family believed to be true. "Perhaps," she said, her modulated voice echoing through the room, "it's time Reynolds Enterprises learned who they're truly negotiating with." My heart thudded in my chest. This wasn't the original plan. She turned to me. Though I couldn't see her expression, I felt her smile in the silence. "Emma," she said gently, "it's time." The room went still. My father visibly tensed. Patricia froze. I slowly rose to my feet. "My name is Emma Chin," I said clearly. "I'm the CEO of Fin AI, a division of the Phoenix Group. Our organization is currently valued at $12 billion and we oversee 40% of the global financial AI infrastructure. Shock rippled through the room. Jessica entered just then, carrying a lunch bag for Timothy. She stopped cold. Her purse slipped from her shoulder and hit the ground. "That can't be true," she stammered. Patricia's voice cracked. She couldn't even pay for school. The Phoenix chuckled softly, the sound mechanical and surreal. "Couldn't afford school?" Emma created revolutionary AI software while still in high school. When you redirected her tuition fund, you unintentionally did her a favor. You brought her to my attention. My father stood, pale and speechless. "Emma, we didn't know." I glanced at him. "Sit down. This is business, not a reunion." I turned back to the screen, advancing the presentation. Reynolds Enterprises has 3 paths forward. 1. Reject our offer and risk collapse within 6 months. 2. Accept our terms and allow us to stabilize and restructure. Or 3. Sell now while your stock still holds value. I looked directly at Timothy. "You choose. You can't do this." Jessica cried. "My wedding is in 2 days. Do you know who's coming?" Yes, the wedding," I replied with a small smile. "The one that cost me my future. $2 million just on flowers, wasn't it? Bold move for a company that missed payroll last month." Timothy's father slumped back in defeat. "How did this happen? How did we miss it?" "Because you were too busy judging people like me," I said. "Chasing appearances. Ignoring innovation." The Phoenix stepped forward. "It's time," she said. "I'm removing the mask." As her digital disguise faded, the gasps were immediate. Standing in her place was Sarah Williams, my best friend, the same woman who'd let me sleep on her couch when I had nowhere else to go. "You?" I whispered. She nodded with a warm smile. "Surprised? I was searching for someone to carry the Phoenix legacy forward. Your family's betrayal revealed your potential. I saw exactly what you could become." Patricia looked like she might faint. "But you worked at a coffee shop." "I own the coffee chain," Sarah corrected smoothly. "And the startup that bought it. And now, with Emma, I lead the future of fintech." I faced the stunned executives. "You have 24 hours. Choose carefully." As the meeting dissolved into whispers and exits, my father approached me hesitantly. "Emma, please give us a chance to explain." "No need," I said, collecting my things. "But since we're talking about family priorities, let me share mine. By this time next week, I'll own Reynolds Enterprises. I'll save thousands of jobs. I'll turn this place into something that matters. That's what builders do, Dad. We create. We don't just marry into empires, we build them." Jessica stood frozen in the doorway, her makeup streaked with tears. "What about my wedding?" "Don't worry," I said with a small shrug. "I hear community centers are lovely this time of year. Isn't that what you once said I should settle for?" Later that evening, I sat in my penthouse office, city lights glowing below. Sarah joined me, 2 champagne glasses in hand. "To stepping out of the shadows," she toasted. "To finding your real family," I replied. 3 days later, Reynolds Enterprises accepted our offer. Jessica's wedding was called off. Apparently, marrying into bankruptcy wasn't part of her dream. My father and Patricia resigned shortly after, unable to bear the thought of working beneath me. But what mattered most came in an email. A short message from my father. "I'm sorry. You're not just your mother's daughter. You're more than all of us combined." I never replied. Instead, I launched a scholarship in my mother's name at Stanford, designed for young women in tech. The first requirement: write an essay about overcoming family obstacles in pursuit of personal ambition. Because sometimes, the sweetest revenge isn't success itself. It's using that success to open the doors no one ever held open for you.